Welcome to John and Dave TV. I'm John.
And I'm Dave. This show is to bring the community back together. We're going through a very hard time right now with everything, the self-isolation and everything else. And we thought maybe we should bring new skills or new hobbies to you in your home that you're able to do with us.
So make sure you join us on every episode where you can learn something new every time to try and help get you through this whole staying at home situation.
Today on a Dave and John show.
It's the John and Dave show.
Product with Ontario growers, we're able to provide those succulents much bigger, healthier, fresher product that hasn't been handled. So it's really pleasurable to be able to offer that service.
Welcome to the show. And Dave, so what'd you get your wife for Mother's Day last weekend?
Mother's Day? Isn't next weekend?
No, it was last weekend.
No way.
Yeah. I bet
that's
you
probably
forgot.
That's probably why my wife's been quiet and not talking to me lately.
Exactly.
I guess I forgot that one.
Well, maybe the show we're doing today, we should have did last week, and maybe you would have remembered.
Well, what's the show today?
Well, today we've got Pam Mcnichol. She's the owner of Chahna Fai and Church Street Flowers, downtown Pembroke.
No way.
And she's actually going to talk about her shop, and also she's maybe going to build a little bouquet in there. That might help you get into the good books with your wife.
Maybe she should build me a bouquet and save my...
Yeah, I think she's going to have to do something for you. Well, maybe we'll bring her in now then, and let's introduce her, Pam Mcnichol, the owner of Chahna Fai and Church Street Flowers. How are you doing, Pam?
Hi, guys. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing well, but I don't know about Dave over there.
I know, I'm pretty flustered. I'm all blushed up now. So you guys caught me on camera forgetting Mother's Day. Now everyone knows I'm a terrible husband.
It's okay. I'll help you. Don't worry. We got you.
So you're the owner of Chahna Fai and Church Street Flowers, downtown Pembroke.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So I've been in Pembroke for 3 years. I started, I have a private practice. So I do a lot of work on neurology. So when I opened my store, we started out just selling local products in the front, and I did some art lessons. The store's really evolved over the last 3 years. So basically, I'm still running my practice. I'm operating my practice, but the stores have taken a shift and they have an entirely new life. So we still have a heavy retail, heavy local presence in the front end of the shop. But our main focus currently is the flower store and floral cafe. But with COVID now, we're totally shifting our business model again.
Exactly. I can see that. And so Church Street Flowers, how long ago did you open that up? Because you opened up originally as just Chahna Fai.
Just as Chahna Fai, and we added Church Street Flowers. We weren't a year in. We saw that there was a need, that there was a hole. In the communities. There's some wonderful floral stores at that time, but there was still a lot of business. So for years, I managed a chain of grocery stores, and I was a florist. So that was part of my job. So it was something that we decided to test the waters in.
Very cool. Dave, do you have anything to ask her there?
I have a lot to ask. To be honest, it's first time I hear about your business, not because, I'm not out in the community. It's just, I don't typically go and look at flower shops. I don't even know where to start with flowers. All I know is that they smell pretty, they look good, and women likes them. So, what can you tell me now I have to get a bouquet for my wife? What type of flower should I look for?
Currently, at this time, we've developed really good relationships. Can I talk a little bit about how we shifted? You guys are okay with that?
Go for it, yeah.
So when on March 16th, when kind of everybody who's an entrepreneur in the retail type environment, when that mandate came down that all non-essential businesses would have to close, we found ourselves in a position of, I'm not going to say we, it's just me. I was in great fear. So I had the opportunity, because we have a floral cafe, we could have ridden under the umbrella of essential, providing takeout. But at that point, I was concerned. My husband is a type 1 diabetic. I have 2 flower stores. do I stay open and operate? The return on investment for me out of the cafe through this time would have been minimal. And would I try to keep us healthy and look for another avenue to be able to operate my business? So, because I was fortunate enough to have foresight and really good friends, Paperback, Jess and Katie are dear friends of mine, and they've always stressed to me how important my online presence was going to be. And so we invested a lot of money into our e-commerce portion of our business when we started Flowers. So I was able to operate under that umbrella. And it turns out I find out on the federal level that we are essential. We are part of the agricultural chain, the growers market. So in that time, I've turned all the suppliers that we had delivering to us were delivering mostly imported product, and that all dried up very quickly. So John can attest to this. I like to talk and I like to get to know people really quick. It's who I am. So one of my old sales reps, floral sales reps, now works for some Ontario growers. So I made a phone call to her straight away, and we've been actually buying our products straight from Ontario growers. I've never had more beautiful product. And like, I mean, I guess it's just kind of, I got to practice what I preach. I got to practice what I try to tell my clients. And I've really tried to take this opportunity to be better, to make my business better, to offer better product, to all at the same time while keeping myself, my family first and foremost. I do have a staff member. We're working shifts. We're social distancing. We're doing all the things. But I want to keep everybody healthy. And that's our number one priority. So before everybody was shut down, we were already operating under those pretenses. And to be honest, there was a level of gratefulness to be able to shut the door and not feel bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at.
That's interesting. Like I didn't realize that flowers were all from, outside the country and all that. So did that change like what type of flowers they're able to get, or is it all kind of like local Ontario grown flowers, or you just kind of planting them in greenhouses here in Ontario?
So they're greenhouses. They're mostly from the Niagara region. But the only thing really that isn't grown here that is in high demand for us are roses, and that's Ecuador and Colombia. Holland obviously has a huge presence. The devastation with the Holland growers throughout this was when they shut down and they weren't able to export. Like as a florist watching the fields of flowers being mowed down and burnt, like it was devastating. But it's also enabled me, like, Ontario grown product typically is out of our reach to purchase financially. So, that's just the way it is, right? If you want something local, it's like a shirt. It's made here, but if it's made in China, we can afford it. And so, it's no different in our world. It's just different countries, different, but it's all the same. So, but purchasing the way that I do now, and I cut out a middleman. I cut out a supplier. We provide our own transportation. We're doing our own pickups. But what I'm able to offer, the quality is just, I can't compete with it. Like it's astronomical, and I was unable before. So for me to purchase, like, I'll show you actually. For me to purchase this hydrangea, okay, it would never look like this. Like, look at the size of that.
That's pretty
It would
big.
be half this size and twice the price.
Yeah.
So the benefit for us, for me specifically, has been that I'm able to offer the same product, but twice the value. Like, and we're becoming known. I have another store in Barry's Bay, and like what I'm able to offer there is, the whole community. Like, I mean, we've been so well supported throughout this too. And I mean, I'm right now going into Mother's Day, and today specifically, our printer hasn't stopped printing. Our phones haven't stopped ringing. At one point, and I'm so tired, and I felt like crying. But bottom line is that the level of gratitude throughout a time like this, when you live in and work in small communities, and you can see that, you spend a lot of time authentically fostering good relationships. And I'm not somebody, and I'm sure most people are like this, that can say, hey, like, we need help right now. We need to be supported. And we haven't had to ask. And the level of gratitude that I have is like, I've never been prouder to be part of these communities, really.
Definitely.
And able to receive the support, and while still supplying a service, a much needed service right now.
So you started off in Pembroke, but then you branched out into Barry's Bay. Was that always a plan, or is that just something that you just turned the lights on and said, let's do that? And is there a benefit to either or?
Well, I think that when I realized I was going to get into the flower business, there definitely was a need in Barry's Bay for flowers. But at some point I had to say, either I'm going to focus on my practice and build a store around my practice. And I quickly realized my practice stands alone. I don't need a store to have my practice. It's a totally different entity. I have a waiting list for clients. That's if I wanted to move forward doing this, I needed to build a brand. And so the store in Barry's Bay is also called Church Street Flowers. The branding, it's about really building that brand. Before COVID, we were looking at location number 3. Now
that's sort of on the back border, or?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to wait and see what happens. Like, I think I'm like everybody else.
Yeah.
What does this look like I don't know what this looks like at the end of this.
And so with the 2 locations, what is the jurisdiction that you can actually do deliveries to? And like, I know Dave there, he's out of Cobden area himself, but he's always in Pembroke and that.
We deliver to Cobden. We deliver to, we deliver from here all the way to Bancroft. So we've done, there's really good florists in Cobden, in Renfrew. We don't often get those requests, but we go to Deep River. We like, people order it, and they, we have a delivery fee on it. We're going. So it's been
awesome. And then you also have the cafe in the Pembroke one. So how much staff do you actually have working with you
right now?
Yes.
I only have Hazel. And I have a girl, a woman. She's part-time. She's part-time. And she helped out through Mother's Day, and periodically on and off. But for the majority, it's just been Hazel and I and my husband.
Okay.
For all 2 locations.
And you wonder if she actually gets any sleep.
I did. During Easter and through Mother's Day, I've slept. I've worked through the night and slept.
Well, I know I can speak firsthand of what it's like at your business, because I've been in there many times. I've been in there for coffee. My daughter's come in and done some workshops, and that's another thing you do, if I'm not mistaken. You do workshops out of your place too.
We do. And actually, when COVID once again first happened, we kind of pioneered. We did a lot of online floral workshops, and we're still gonna. We have one planned for next week. It'll be a succulent garden. So people who are trapped at home for Easter, we took them all the supplies to build a centerpiece, did a Zoom call, gave them a discount. Basically, they paid the price that they would have for me to make it. I jumped on my computer and we made it together, and it's really wonderful to see. I know myself. I'm so grateful that I'm not at home. That I'm still able to have a place to go every day.
Yep.
And I'm like very grateful. I don't know what I would do. I'm not somebody who would. I really don't know what I would do. So
yeah.
I know that I would be looking for things like that. So we thought, well, let's throw it out there, see what happens. So we did a vase arrangement one Saturday, and a couple Saturdays later, we did an Easter centerpiece. Now we're going to do a succulent garden, moving into that season. And once again, having access to product with Ontario growers, we're able to provide those succulents much bigger, healthier, fresher product that hasn't been handled. So it's really pleasurable to be able to offer that service.
That's amazing to hear. Speaking to different people in the community and all that, a lot of businesses right now are actually doing quite well, and the community's kind of coming together and still purchasing different products from them. And I'm happy to hear that you're also benefiting from. I thought it was only the restaurant business that's been doing well. I'm happy to hear that also other small businesses are benefiting from the home shopping. I guess so. From what I remember from the discussion, prior to to the show, it's you also offer other services besides just flowers in your shop and all that. And I understand you sell like essential oils and all that type of stuff. Is there like things that could help out people, relax and cope during this pandemic? And
Essential oils are always something that if you've ever used them, you know the benefit. It's never something that I actively have to promote on our social media. Like we just
really?
have, not really. We have our clientele and they know they work and they just contact us. So curbside pickup has been wonderful for that. And especially this is a time like where people who already have, anxiety issues or, you can see where, emotions are right now. They're challenged and running high. And the heat has really turned up for some people with isolation. So, we've spent a lot of time, I've spent a lot of time even on the phone with people. Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to, right?
Definitely.
So, and I don't know what the end of this looks like, but if you put somebody already with some challenges in a house and you isolate them and you take away their resources, once again, I'm extremely grateful that's not my situation, right?
No, I know what you're saying because I know with myself, I can't work out of my studio as it is right now. Like I'm at home right now. I'm doing this from my home. Dave's at his house. When this is all over, hopefully we can do it in the studio, do this actual type of thing. But we're opposite of you. We're actually at home all day long. So I know what you have to offer is a lot that can help people. So.
So essential oils, like there's a lot of calming, a lot of relaxing. There's a lot of stuff for sleep. A had a lot of requests for headache, migraine. Interesting, but tension, right?
Yeah, definitely. Now, I don't know if this is putting you on the spot or how quick you could do one, but we thought might be kind of fun if you can actually build a little bouquet right there.
Sure.
And I don't know how much we have on time here, but I think if you do, you might save Dave a little bit there because maybe he'll probably even purchase it from you later on.
Well, I actually was just before we started, I was going to build out a bouquet, but I'm just going to try and find a way here to because we that we can.
Well,
probably got about
this is on the spot, so.
Yeah. I know. Poor Pam, we're putting her on the
spot.
Why
don't I build it as we talk? How's that?
You go right ahead.
Perfect.
So I know that you used to do other stuff in Chahna Fai. At one point, you used to have artwork in there, and you used to do a lot of art stuff in there too.
We kind of shifted away from that, and not because I didn't want to, but because we needed the space, number one.
Yep.
For the florals. We are moving, so that's going to be huge. We're really excited about that.
Is that from the Pembroke store, you mean, you're moving?
Yeah, our Pembroke location is moving just around the corner.
Okay.
It's currently being built out and finished.
Okay.
We rent from Sleepwell Property Management.
Yep.
So they have purchased a building around the corner. So we are moving out of there. So
good for you.
It's going to give us the opportunity to, because we've shifted and grown, the space was perfect for me at one time. But now, we need a walk-in cooler. We need so there's things that we just can't have here.
Okay.
So it's giving us that opportunity, and we're hoping to be in and operational there by July 1st.
Perfect. And hopefully everything will be open by then, and then Dave and I can come in, have a coffee, get some flowers.
Here's the exciting thing. We've decided to, because of COVID, and we don't know what that means, what that looks like. as far as the Board of Health and restaurants, we've decided to not take the cafe with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, not because we don't love it. It was kind of a devastating decision in a way, but I feel on a business level, it enables me to have less staff.
Yep.
And focus on what we do here.
Definitely.
And I'm not sure how soon we would be able to use that.
Okay.
So we just decided we had to kind of make a quick decision. And that decision was based on the fact that, if everything I hear is true, I even though we're opened up, does that mean that people will be able to come in and sit side by each? We're compact.
Yeah.
Would we be able to accommodate it? Well, you can always accommodate things, but is it something that I want to put the money into when the cafe isn't the financial reward, right?
Definitely. So you were talking about where you get your flowers earlier on. So is there a specific timeline for certain flowers, or can you get most of the flowers all year round, or is there certain seasonal ones that you can't?
Well, there's always seasonal flowers, but when things are grown in a greenhouse, the benefit is that they can be grown all year round, right?
Very true. So do you actually make the bouquets like this yourself a lot, or is Hazel do most of them, or do you your staff do them, and you just sort of
well, I design them, kind of have a look that we like to stay with. Every designer has a bit of a different look, right? That's just part of, but especially through busy seasons, we'll all design a recipe, and we'll go with that for just so we know what we're buying.
Exactly.
But everybody who is currently working at the store right now is a florist and a designer. So when Hazel started here, she was not, but she's educated and trained. And we've taken a lot of design courses. One of our biggest challenges is funerals and events went away.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And as a florist, those are the jobs where, I hate to say it, but that's your money jobs, right?
No, definitely.
I mean, every wedding we had on the books is gone.
Yep. But you got to remember with funerals too. I mean, that's recession-proof profession. I mean, there's always going to be that, unfortunately, and we're going to need them. So.
Well, but the reality is that in the last 3 months, that hasn't been a part of the ROI in our business. A part of our right.
Just quickly, I'm just noticing all these flowers, and like, by Lord, they are really beautiful. But I don't even know what these flowers are. You can just quickly, in a matter of like a minute, quickly tell us what the flowers are.
Absolutely. So we've got some hydrangea. Actually, we got some lilies. Okay, and these are a small-headed lily. We've got some stock, which stock is a beautiful smell. This is called a disbud. This pink flower here. So that's called a disbud.
Ooh, that's nice.
Commercial disbud. This is my all-time favorite, and right now it's hot. These are peonies. This is called a coral.
Oh wow!
Peony.
Do I see a stargazer in there?
No, they're not called stargazers. They're Asiatics.
Okay.
But yes, they're an Asiatic lily. And we've got some roses. We're going to put in some tulips.
Dave, you might not have to sleep on the couch anymore.
No, I guess I'm getting lucky today, aren't I?
This one here is going to get you out of some hot
water. I love it.
So how?
There you go.
How can people find out about your seminars, and how can people find you during this time? How can we get connected to you?
You know what? That's a really good question. I've been so busy and understaffed that I've never marketed myself per se, like my practice. Word of mouth has always been kind of enough. But my goals for 2020 were definitely to start going forward with that. I do a lot of work on the corporate level. I do belong to, I teach. So I haven't really had to market that in this area, but I don't I have a really big aversion to the word coach. for what I do. You know, I don't like the life coach word. I believe in personal transformation. So, you know, I don't know what I want to call myself. I just say that if, you know, anything neurologically, or sit down and have a conversation and we present some options, and people just call the store and somebody will give you my cell phone, and, you know, we just start a conversation and see if that's, we have something to offer.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and doing this with us today. I know you're going to help a lot of people out there, that's for sure. And I know I love your place. I come in all the time, and we're in the same business group together. So, I mean, it's awesome. So thank you very much, Pam Mcnichol from Chahna Fai and Church Street Flowers. And thanks very much.
It was great meeting you.
You too.
Take care.
Thanks.
That was a really good interview, and I tell you, what a bubbly personality. I really enjoy listening to her and talking to her and hearing about this business. And too bad she's located where she is, and you know, people don't typically see her, but it's nice to hear that she's moving, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I've been in her shop before. My daughter's taken workshops from her, and that personality you're seeing on there is exactly what she's like in real person. Like, she's out there, she's eccentric, but she's amazing, and she cares a lot about her clients, and she'll put everything of her into everything that she does. So definitely I recommend her myself a lot, and I think her business is just going to get better and better, especially after this whole situation with the COVID and how busy she is. People are going to see how well they are and how good they are, and I like the range that they can go to. Like she said, she can go all the way to Compton.
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing, you know. And we have to commend our community and mention how community has been coming together and helping out these small business and doing their part also in keeping businesses open around. I'm surprised at first. I was kind of surprised not seeing more closures, but just hearing how much people have been going out and supporting local business, I find it amazing. I commend each one of you.
Exactly, and that's the good thing is that's why everybody here, they have to make sure that you have to come every Wednesday night and see John and Dave TV, because we have a lineup coming up that I'm looking at our list right now, and the people that we've got that are going to be guests on this show over the next couple of weeks, they're not going to want to miss it, because you think we have so many in this community that are just like Pam. They're small businesses and they care of what they do. So I hope people come back and see a lot of this guest and lineup that we've got planned for them over the next couple of weeks.
And to wrap up now, just remember, our show is about coping and coping strategies during COVID-19. And remember, exercise plenty, get good sleep, take a breath, relax, and everything's going to be okay.
Exactly. Be safe, be good to yourself, and be good to everybody else too. Thanks for watching.